5:45. We'll bring the Finance Committee meeting to order. The agenda item today is funding for the Phase 1 changes and the Phase 2 completion of the historic structure report. Malcolm, you want to?
Yeah.
For the Memorial Center.
Members, council, people. One of my jobs for the city is to leverage the city's resources to save the Memorial Center. With the Okra Community Development Block Grant that we were awarded last month, there's a 330% bonus or investment to the city's investment. And the one that I want to talk to you tonight has the potential to open up a 20-to-1 leverage for the city. The too far away, too far away? Yeah.
Malcolm, can I just?
Yeah.
I think you meant 2-to-1, not 20-to-1.
20-to-1 is a 20-to-1 if we can get, because this will unlock capital money for the interior restoration through the historic structure report. It's 1-to-1 for the study, but it unlocks the potential for getting the capital money for the restoration of the interior of the building.
Right.
And that we can expect to be around $600,000 or $700,000.
Yeah.
So what I'm here tonight to ask for an appropriation of $30,000 to complete the historic structure report that was already started earlier. The Phase 1 report was to provide the information that was needed to apply for the Okra grant, and this study will provide the foundation, the condition of the building, the treatment standards, the cost estimating for restoring the interior of the building. And I want to recommend that we hire the architectural firm of Ratio Design to complete this report, and I'll explain why in this presentation. So, just a couple of key updates by actions taken by the City Council. In Resolution 2025-113, we completed a number of window restorations on the east elevation, like this one here on the right, which is restored. It's one of the windows that's on the 1922 structure behind the stage. And we completed the historical structure report that was needed for this grant that we were awarded here, the Okra grant. And in addition, a few other things like getting the historical structure, the significance of it with the historical registry updated from local importance to state importance. This grant that we want to go for this week will, they wouldn't even consider the building until we had achieved state level significance. So that was one of the steps along the way. And of course, we got the grant. These these private foundation grants have become so much more important to this program because the federal money has dried up. 94% of federal money that we traditionally program for historical preservation is going away. So that everybody who is trying to get some project like this completed is going to be moving toward the private foundations to get funding support. And we've been positioning now for over 6 months for this grant that we would like to ask your help to pursue. Construction on the outside will start in the spring. So next up is the interior. Like I said, we've been shaping this grant opportunity for a few months now. The first step was getting the National Registry upgrade. We've been in regular, the Jeffers family provides grants for historical preservation within like a 5-state area that includes Indiana. There's a director that's assigned to our area. Her name is Nancy Finegood. She lives in the Detroit area. Been talking to her regularly, and she actually made a visit here last month. She made a special trip to Logansport to tour the Memorial Center, and she was impressed. I mean, as soon as she finished up, she stayed here overnight, drove back to Detroit the next day, and then our levels of communication picked up as far as what they're looking for and what they need from us. So it's a two-stage pursuit. First, they require a historic structure report because it really informs a well-executed restoration or rehabilitation project. Then this Heartland Fund grant would provide 50% of the cost to complete. So we're talking about a $60,000 project, $30,000 from the city, $30,000 would be matched by the Jeffers Fund. But that is just really getting us in the door for what's called their Capital Challenge Grant. And that would provide 33% of the funds for the interior. And the way the timing would work is we would need to complete the historical structure report by mid-March 2026, and then we get into the workflow for having them make a final decision next August to award the money for the interior remediation. So it's possible that we could, not remediation, but restoration. We can complete the exterior work in 2026 and tee this up to complete the interior work in 2027. So we sought proposals from a couple of companies, architectural firms, one being the incumbent that helped us with the phase one. We went with Browning Day because they had done work on this building since 2017. But they lost, in mid-course in doing our work, they lost the architect that had been provided continuity over the past decade. He went to work for another company and is under a non-compete. So we started looking at other companies, and fortunately we found one that is really much better positioned with the Jeffers Family Foundation. And they submitted a very competitive proposal to pick up where Browning Day is and left off, and we'll finish this. And I think for this particular grant, going with ratio is going to get us through the gauntlet. Next. If any of you have been down to the Bottle Works in Indianapolis, it was a Coca-Cola bottling plant. It was the largest Coca-Cola bottling plant in the world. Now it's been turned into a big entertainment venue. It's anchored with the hotel at the end of Mance Avenue, and it's got food court and amusement arcades and other businesses that really complete the development of Michigan Avenue all the way back to into downtown. Our ratios and RC Engineering, their engineering partner, did this work. But moreover, they did like 7 projects now that have been funded by Jeffers Family Foundation funds. So they understand the Jeffers Family Foundation, how they work, what they're looking for, and how to turn in a product that they're expecting, the quality that they're expecting to see. They've got 5 architects that are all very well credentialed, so the risk of having one drop off really wouldn't affect us for this job. But the guy who they picked to lead it has actually studied the Memorial Center as part of a bigger study that he's doing of our historical architecture in the Wabash Valley. So he knew a few things about the Memorial Center that we didn't even know. And the price, I said, of the two architectural firms, this was actually lower, but they were within 1.5% of each other. And that's about it. If you have any questions, I'll.
Do I have any questions for Malcolm? One of the things in your packet, if you flip real quick to Resolution 2025-154, one of the things that we need to decide in the Finance Committee meeting for the council resolution is the approval of the recommendation he's made for Ratio rather than Browning Day. Like he said, Ratio has a pretty good track record. They're very familiar with Jeffers, and actually their quote came in, I believe, $1,000 less than the Browning Day quote.
Right. So professional services proposals, typically, you want to make your selection based on the quality and work out a price that's suitable. But in this case, they submitted pricing, and it's competitive. They had I think their qualifications far exceed the other bid. Browning Day had, they cited Union Station as one of their key projects, but that project is, 40 years old. So most of the work that Ratio is doing, including this was, AutoWorks was probably 2021.
So is the recommendation to use Ratio, is there a consensus on that? You want to move that forward and submit that in the resolution there? Okay. Are there any other questions for Malcolm? No. I just say thank you for all your hard work on this, Malcolm.
Yep. Just looking kind of at the big picture, we kind of got the exterior figured out. I think we're going to get the interior figured out as well. That's going to still leave some work on the exterior for the grounds, the ADA ramps, and walkways and parking. So still some challenges and a few things to figure out, but this kind of puts us at least 2/3 of the way to the end.
Appreciate your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
5:58, I'll call the Finance Committee meeting to a close.
Good evening. It is Monday, October 6, 2025. I'm Chris Martin, calling to order the regular session of Logansport Common Council. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
B.J. Cox. Chris Howard. Present. Cameron Alston.
Present.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Present.
Scott Peady.
Present.
Susie Walmsley.
Present.
Dave Morris.
We'll start this evening off with the public hearing for the 2026 budget. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for us, please. Seeing no comments, I will close the public hearing at 6:02 p.m. We'll start with the approval of minutes from the September 8th, 2025 meeting.
Can we approve the minutes?
Second.
Further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Susie Walmsley.
Yes.
Scott Peady.
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Cameron Alston.
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
B.J. Cox.
Any reports from committees, boards, and commissions?
Let me get my notes here real quick. Okay. Yes, we had a Finance Committee meeting on September the 22nd. We had a informational budget review. We had discussion about the urban green infrastructure resilient cohort, which is on tonight's agenda, as well as the GEO bond appropriations. We had Parks Department transfer request for some shortfalls and some end-of-season purchases for the pool, and we heard from several entities, the high school representative for the Multicultural Festival, the State Theater request, CLUDO request for operating funds, incentive funding, internship program, and Logan's Landing for their operational needs, and facade program. Those are all current. And then we had some information on the Memorial Center. And then again tonight we had the October 6th meeting for the funding for the adjustments to the Phase 1 and completion of the Phase 2 historic structure report for a 50-50 match through JFF's Heartland Fund grant, and that's on tonight's agenda also.
Any other reports from committees, boards, and commissions? All right, seeing none. On to old business, ordinance 2025-23. Councilman Peady.
It's 2025-23, an ordinance to the Common Council approving changes to the Dykeman Park Municipal Golf Course Golfers Handbook 2026, second reading. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-23, please.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Jan, I want to thank you for making the changes that we asked about. Appreciate that. I did have one additional question. I don't want to muddy the water on this, but it does say in there that the clubhouse will be closing in 2026, and I wondered if you wanted to leave that in there as it states in the handbook. Let me see if I marked it in here, but I think it's stated like March. Let me see if I can find it here.
Well, yeah, it's kind of, that's when the takeoff, I guess, if anything, of the season. It has always been
Oh, here on your Dykeman's calendar. I didn't know whether you wanted to leave it like that because you're going to have simulators out at the course, or,
Yeah, we probably need to amend that, probably. Yeah, the simulators are going, so, yeah.
so you want to just, can we amend that to just say year-round, or?
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
Okay. So can we back up and make a motion to amend under Dykeman's calendar that the clubhouse will be open year-round?
Second on the motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Page 2.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes. Motion to pass ordinance 2025-23 on its second reading with the amendment.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Call for question?
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-23 passes on its second reading. On to new business, ordinance 2025-24. Councilman Austin.
Ordinance 2025-24, ordinance, it says ordinance or resolution, for appropriations and tax rates. Mr. Mayor, ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-24.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-24 passes on its first reading. Resolution 2025-152. Councilman Morris.
Resolution 2025-152, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving funds to apply for the Urban Green Infrastructure Resilience Cohort for the year 2026. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Resolution 2025-152 passes. Resolution 2025-153. Councilman Cox.
Resolution 2025-153, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, transferring the appropriations for the pool department. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a reading on Resolution 2025-153, a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
BJ Cox, Chris Howard,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-153 passes. Resolution 2025-154. Councilwoman Wamsley.
Resolution 2025-154, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, appropriating funds for completing the historic structure report for the Logansport Cass County Memorial Center. I move for a vote on Resolution 2025-154.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Walmsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-154 passes.
Yes, I wanted to ask if you would amend the proposal to include section and ratio design as the architect for that resolution.
You already did that, didn't you?
We did that in the finance.
We did that.
We added it through
Yeah.
the finance committee. Yeah.
Okay.
Ordinance 2025-25, Councilman Howard.
Ordinance 2025-25, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the purchase of a one-ton dump truck for the Parks Department through the general obligation bond. This is the first reading on ordinance 2025-25. I ask for a vote, Mr. Mayor, on ordinance 2025-25.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Kind of explain what's going on here. In your packet, you'll notice ordinance 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33 are all basically the same request. Back in the fall of last year, we approved funding approved to get a GO bond. We had a public hearing. It was all passed, but what happened was there was no budget set up for this year. So when the State Board of Accounts was here, their recommendation was that we needed to go back because there had been no money from the bond appropriated to be spent after we received it. We have to go back and we have to individually pass an additional appropriation for each of the ones. All of these were passed in either the February 3rd resolution 2025-107 or the April resolution 2025-120. And so we're kind of backtracking here just to do the bookkeeping for what we've already approved as far as what these expenditures were. So that's why we've got all these on here now. Next, before the meeting on October 20th, there'll be a public hearing. If anyone has any additional questions about this, and then we'll have the second reading. And then, as you can see in this 2026 budget, the remaining balance in that GO bond has been budgeted to be spent. So we won't have to go through this with that at all, but just write a resolution. So just for clarity.
Spencer Park, Lower Pavilion, wasn't that already paid for? Now we're moving money around again?
No, we moved the money around.
I'm just asking.
Which one you looking at, BJ?
Spencer Park,
Those are paving ones.
paving, and for Lower Pavilion, I believe it's here. Oh, it's parking lot, okay, I'm sorry.
No, these are all parking lots. That was all taken care of last month.
This is just for the road, approving the roads that we're
None of
gonna.
this is for the shelter.
Right. That was already taken care of, BJ.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Say,
Oh, sorry.
well, just to clarify, I would say down at the bottom, you'll see the one resolution, the two resolutions at the bottom pertain to what you're talking about, BJ, and we'll get to those.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Ordinance 2025-25 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-26, Councilwoman Zinsmaster.
Ordinance 2025-26, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the paving match for Community Crossings Grant for the Street Department through the General Obligation Bond. And I would ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-26 on its first reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin. Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
BJ Cox. Chris Howard.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-26 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-27, Councilman Cox.
Ordinance 2025-27, an ordinance from the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing additional appropriations for the purchase and installation of the Spencer Park Pole Barn for the Parks Department through the General Obligation Fund. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a ruling on ordinance 2025-27.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin, Susie Wamsley.
Ordinance 2025-27 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-28, Councilman Petey.
It's 2025-28, an ordinance to the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the paving of Spencer Park lower lot and driveway for the Parks Department through the general obligation bond, first reading. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-28, please.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
BJ Cox, Scott Petey,
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-28 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-29, Councilman Morris.
Ordinance 2025-29, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the paving of Spencer Park upper lot on the north side of High Street for the Parks Department through the general obligation bond. I'd ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-29.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-29 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-30, Councilwoman Wamsley.
Ordinance 2025-30, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the paving of Spencer Park for the Parks Department through the general obligation bond, first reading. I move for a vote on ordinance 2025-30.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
BJ Cox, Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Ordinance 2025-30 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-31, Councilman Howard.
Ordinance 2025-31, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the purchase and installation of the Spencer Park South Playground for the Parks Department through the general obligation bond, first reading. Ask for a vote, Mr. Mayor, on ordinance 2025-31.
Second.
Any further discussion?
This is the equipment always installed and everything?
At the playground.
Question?
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-31 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-32, Councilwoman Zinsmaster.
Ordinance 2025-32, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the purchase of a truck for code enforcement through the general obligation bond. And I would ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-32 on its first reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question?
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-32 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2025-33, Councilman Austin.
2025-33, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriation for the purchase of a truck for the street department through the general obligation bond. Mr. Mayor, ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-33 on its first reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
BJ Cox?
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster?
Yes.
Scott Petey?
Yes.
Susie Wamsley?
Yes.
Chris Howard?
Yes.
Dave Morris?
Yes.
Cameron Austin?
Ordinance 2025-33 passes on its first reading. Resolution 2025-155, Councilman Petey.
Resolution 2025-155, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, appropriating seeded funds not to exceed $140,000 for continued remediation and cleanup efforts at the Trelleborg property. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2025-155, please.
Any further discussion?
This is the one, BJ, this is kind of what you were speaking about earlier. What this is, last month, if you remember correctly, we transferred the money that was used out of the seeded fund back to the seeded fund and replaced the Memorial Home ARPA funds that had been allocated, as well as the Trelleborg funds. So what we're doing now is taking the funds from the seeded fund to cover the cost for the Trelleborg work over there.
And for the Memorial Center. So if you add these two, the numbers of these two resolutions together, it's the total amount of money that was put back into the ARPA fund.
Seed it was allocated to these two, so it's all,
I can see
it
that.
all
So it's the
comes
same
out of
thing.
wash then.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff like, let's say the playground equipment has already been installed and was already paid for in a different resolution, correctly? Or we're just now paying for it out there?
We
No,
we
it's-
approved it through the GEO bond. Dave said which two ordinances, Dave, that we were correcting, where we put all the, yeah, so we listed all the money, all the things that we wanted to purchase with the GEO bond. But then we figured out through our accounting, the state audit said, it's really better if you do an ordinance or an ordinance for each thing that you're buying. So this is really just bookkeeping. We already approved it, and now we're just putting it in a form all by itself instead of a list of 10 things.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Susie Wamsley?
Yes.
Dave Morris?
Yes.
Chris Howard?
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster?
Yes.
Scott Petey?
Yes.
BJ Cox? Cameron Austin?
Yes.
Resolution 2025-155 passes. Resolution 2025-156, Councilman Cox.
Resolution 2025-156, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, appropriating seeded funds for the improvement made of the Logansport Cass County Memorial Center. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on resolution 2025-156.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I'd like to point out that this resolution needs the heading put on it. It doesn't have it on there. So I just thought we should put it on there in case somebody's looking it up.
Which one are we looking at? 156?
2025-156, the heading isn't on there. So if we just would add that. It's not on mine.
Is that the old version?
Well, this is the one I studied yesterday. Is it on
I had
today's?
Tyler correct that this morning.
Oh, I see. Okay, let me
For some
check.
reason, when I sent it to him, it didn't,
Okay,
I don't know what happened, but it
It's on the
didn't.
new one.
there now. Okay, sorry. That was yesterday's homework. Got it. Thank
Call for
you.
question.
Cameron Austin?
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster?
Yes.
Chris Howard?
Yes.
BJ Cox? Susie Wamsley?
Yes?
Scott Petey?
Yes.
Dave Morris?
Resolution 2025-156 passes. Ordinance 2025-34, Councilman Morris.
2025-34, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, fixing salaries for appointed officials and employees of the City of Logansport, Indiana for the year 2026. First reading. I move this forward for a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I think there might be.
Under Parks Administrator, I'd like to think this is just a typo.
Well, that's why it's first reading. What's wrong? What have we done here?
It says 52,762.
I'm thinking you're probably right, Jan. I'll circle that and make sure we get it amended.
Any further discussion?
Are we still,
I would just say for everybody, the salary ordinance and the budget is out there. If you haven't asked Tyler to give you a copy and you want a copy of it, he'd be more than glad to. I'm hoping to schedule a Finance Committee meeting to review it one last time and make any changes we deem necessary on Thursday, October the 9th of this week. I tried to get it next Monday, but that's a holiday. I was going to have that at 5 o'clock, but I know there's already a conflict for one person.
Well, I won't be able to come until like later, so don't worry about me.
Can you send us any info that you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it 5 all right with everyone?
I won't be here, I'll be out of town.
Any further discussion?
Have any, Scott, as you review it, if you have any concerns, if you can email them to us, or, okay.
the only thing I have is, we said 3% raise, but still we're going, you want to give the clubhouse manager more money?
Yeah, you want to save that for Thursday? I didn't really want to get into a bunch of different
Okay.
line items tonight. We can change anything you want at that meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All right, call for question.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-34 passes on its first reading. Public comments. Anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for us.
Good evening. Paul Wilhelm, 630 South 15th, Logansport. I received, noticed some paperwork that is going through the city, and I wasn't aware if the council was aware of it. I certainly wasn't aware of it, but it appears that our city payroll department has been ordered to Cass Circuit Court for the purposes of a garnishment hearing, apparently concerning a debt that the mayor has. And this is scheduled for December 15th. And I'm a little curious about the transparency of this. And it goes to the payroll department, not the city attorney? Or is it referenced from the payroll department back to the city attorney? This strikes me as a little odd, but apparently it's in order to appear on a $4,195 garnishment. Mayor hasn't paid his bill, and they're taking him to court over it, or to garnishment hearing. It just seems incredible to me that our mayor, we're going to be garnishing the wages of our mayor. And in looking at the court docket, I see there's another case out there, which he's named in, it's about $8,000, and there's another local businessman I talked to who's trying to track him down to serve him. So, I mean, this is a very bad situation for our city. I think it sends a wrong message to the business community. I think it makes it harder to get people to come here and invest here and spend money in our community because they're looking at leadership. And if leadership can't balance their own budget, can't balance their own checkbook, and we're having to garnish them, I think that speaks badly of our community. And I would hope the city council takes time to look at this issue and determine if some sort of resolution of disapproval needs to be made by the council, because we're not sending a positive message with this going on. Thank you.
Good evening, Dave Kitchell, 1423 North Street. a year ago, we had a meeting in this chamber. We discussed the mayor's performance, and I indicated at the time I would be glad to carry a petition for his resignation, demanding his resignation. Now that we're approaching the 1-year mark, we're approaching 400 signatures in that petition demanding his resignation. Some of the comments on here from these people are, Mayor Martin has done nothing good for the city of Logansport. It can't be any worse, and I'd like to see change sooner than later. He never had my vote to begin with. He's not in this position for change. He wants the popularity. Logansport has become cluttered with junk vehicles and non-permitted buildings. All they need to do is enforce ordinances already on the books, clean it up. Mayor doesn't know how to be honest with us in Logansport. I'm sorry that I voted for Chris, and given the chance, I would have changed my vote. He's not doing his job. The city looks horrendously dirty. Neighbors not held accountable for 4 years of fighting for clean neighborhoods and houses that should be removed, not even livable. Lies to me every time he's confronted. The state of our city, lied about immigrants, and continuing. This goes on, probably the lady that comes closest to hitting the target with most of the sentiments is, we moved to Logansport due to it being listed as one of the safest cities for local businesses and for the small town feel. In the last several years, the town's community feel has decreased significantly. It is almost impossible for anyone to find housing due to its overcrowded population. You can view the statistics on student population and see the drastic increases in numbers, as well as the Haitians becoming the majority of the population. I love this little town, but now my family and I are looking to move elsewhere. There's nothing being done or planned to address the overcrowding, the abandoned buildings, bringing more revenue in by utilizing empty shops downtown. In addition, a request was made formally to the clerk treasurer's office 2 months ago to release the emails regarding the mayor's contacts with the basketball league and the emails back and forth. I received a letter which indicated from the city attorney that they were being sent to the insurance agent for review for possible claim. I see no exception in the Indiana Open Records law for this, and the state public access counselor has ruled that this is in the scope of public view, that they should be released as public information, not only to the media, but to the citizenry, and I'm representing that citizenry. So I would request that you obey state law, that you release those emails as soon as possible.
Do you have something from the state saying that?
I'll be glad to get it. Be glad to get it.
Okay.
Any other public comments? Council member comments? Or did you want to speak? Yeah, you can come up.
I have one request and one question. On my request, I live,
Excuse me, tell us who you are, ma'am.
oh, Kelly Shriver,
Thank you, Kelly.
and it concerns the street department. I live right across from Dunwoody Park, and when you're coming from 18th Street, since it's a one-way, there are no painted signs, or not signs, but no painted arrows on the street to go left and right, and because we've got so many people in this city, either they're not paying attention because when they pull out, if they want to go right, they're pulling out from the left side. If they want to go left, they're pulling out from the right side, plus they're even coming at you when you're going down the street the one way. They're still coming at you because they don't want to have to go all the way down to 17th Street. And we've had so many wrecks right there. It is so dangerous for people to even pull out that live there. So I just was seeing it, because I had talked to the street department a couple weeks ago and asked them. And some guy named Chad said that he would go check it out. I don't know if he has or anything.
Back there.
I have.
Hi.
I asked our traffic control guy,
Chad, come up, please.
I asked our traffic control guy if we had any thermal plastic left turn arrows and straight right combinations at the time, and we did not. We were out.
Okay.
We ordered more, and we just got delivery last Friday.
Okay. And I have another question for you guys, but I'm not sure if he's the one I need to ask. The house across the street, I found out that you guys have to go in there and clean that entire property up because it's just nasty. and I've been trying for 3 years. And they just told me that you guys are in charge of cleaning that place up.
Well, if it gets ordered by code enforcement, be a Randy.
Well, it was already said that it's been passed down and it's up to you guys.
It's been approved.
Supposedly, I was told that through a conversation from the police department, because he talked to code enforcement, and they said it's on you guys, so that's why he said for me to come here
Okay.
and find out.
Well, once
Because-
we get the file from Randy, we'll take care of it.
So do I need to call Randy and ask Randy?
He's right there.
Well, there's 2 bearded men back there, so. So do you know any?
I can tell you the whole story on this property.
What's the address of the
What's
property
the
you're talking
address of the
about?
property?
Speaking of
Kelly?
70 18th Street.
70
70.
18th Street?
Yep. So this whole property, this started back in May. We had property cleanup ordered in June. We've had communication back and forth with this lady that's living there. She's threatened lawsuits against us if we touch anything on her property. And we had her working with us cleaning stuff up. She has stopped again. The cleanup's been ordered, and it's one of them we were gonna get to, but we're trying to keep it from where we don't have to fight with this lady further, because she's,
When she gets in trouble, because I've been on her about her dog, and I've had to keep filing charges against her because she will not keep her dog off of my property. It comes over and urinates on my property, on my flowers, and she's already been fined up to $400 when Brian was the code enforcement, and now that the new code enforcement guy's here, it's already started all over again. And when you go to her house and she's getting in trouble, she gets really mad, and then she goes into a seizure and hits the ground. They come and get her, take her to the hospital, because she just told us when the dog catcher came last Thursday to give her a ticket, she got mad. She said she's gonna kill herself, so then a police officer has to come, and then she says, take the dog, and the dog is still there, and I've been battling with her for 3 years on cleaning up the property and keeping her dog off. I've got a 140-pound dog at my house. If he was to get out and go over and do stuff in their yard, it's nothing like a little bitty dog. Because I even rescued this German Shepherd from her house. It was being starved, caged. A black kid owned it and had another dog, and the other little dog got put to sleep because it either bit somebody in the animal shelter or bit another dog. But I rescued this German Shepherd. He's now 140 pounds, and that's twice what I weigh. So, but I'm trying to find out if you guys have a date, that way I can let the area know so that we can move our vehicles, because God only knows what kind of vehicles you guys are gonna bring. So if we can get all our vehicles out of your way.
the issue with.
Randy, can I ask both of you, this sounds like something that needs to be put in front of the Board of Works.
It's already been-
What I would recommend is that maybe you discuss this with the Board of Works and invite her to come and come up with a solution, and then let the city council know what your steps are going to be moving forward.
Well, from what I was told, these guys were gonna go in, clean it up, and she's gonna be fine.
Well, he can bring the records with him and show you exactly what's happened. He's sitting here trying to do things from memory, and quite honestly, I think Randy has more than 1 or 2 of these homes that he deals with. So,
Right.
so that you get the facts straight and you can come up with a plan of action, I think you need to bring it to the Board of Works on Wednesday.
So Kelly would have contacted our office before this. She could have probably been given all this information of where we stood, what's been going on, because Sandy has access to all my files, every
Right.
note, every email back and forth with the owner of that property, and even in the emails, it says, she's getting an attorney, she's doing this, she's gonna sue us. So we're trying to do everything we can to get it cleaned up without getting to that point.
Right.
No doubt, Randy. I have no doubt
But
that,
I get tired of calling these guys and nothing getting done. That's why I have let it go, because one guy another guy now that lives with her, he might mow the yard, but that's it. I mean, there's no work ethic. I mean, they don't spend any more time on that yard than, if you're lucky, 10 minutes a week.
Kelly, is this a rental?
No, Natasha owns it,
Okay. Okay.
or her mom owns it.
Going on for, like you said, at least 3 years.
Yeah, because.
I've personally been fighting with the house for 4 years since
Okay.
I took this job.
Yeah.
We get it partially cleaned up, and we go right back. We get it cleaned up again, we go right back.
Because you have transients coming in the rooms?
She has a rotating people in and out of the house besides herself.
Okay.
Well, how much money does the woman owe in fees right now? This could be something that could be taken to small claims court and have that addressed if her fees are to the point where if you get her in front of a judge that has something to say, how much money does she owe you in fees, Randy?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, I really couldn't.
Okay, well,
I don't have the numbers.
if she's been fined that many times for her dog and for not doing cleanup, then let's just put that stuff together, let's file a small claims case against her, and then you can go and the dog people can go, and you can do a presentation in front of the judge and let her have a time to go speak, and they can inform you when that's going to happen, and this is something that needs to be addressed by a judge. It doesn't need to be addressed by the city council. It sounds like the Board of Works have already addressed it, so let's just do something different. And so that's what I would recommend, is that we could do that.
Randy, has the Board of Works taken any action on that home in the past?
Property?
Yes.
We have, each year we've done, it's been a multiple violation for 2 years in a row. It actually is now into it again, so I think it's got some fines and stuff. But without having my tablet here so I can actually look the property up, I can.
If it's been a continuous thing, can't we shut it down?
It's
legally?
something that we discussed
Shut
before
the
about
house
the
down.
nuisance
Get everybody
issue.
evacuated out. It's been he said 4 years you've been fighting this now, violations?
I started, 4 or 5 years ago.
People in the neighborhood gotta put up with this. There's all kinds of parts, boards, rocks in the yard, and they don't even own it looks like their driveway, but it's actually Miles Street
city
continued.
alleyway.
Yeah. Something needs to be done other than ordered cleanups, and if it goes right back like it's doing for the last 4 years, there needs to be a solution to this, a permanent one.
And on that note, she's got somebody somehow put a handicap sign in their yard. Ain't nobody handicapped there, because I can tell you, when she got the handicap sign, she went and got a wheelchair for somebody because Dave was living there, took him to wherever in this wheelchair. Now, when the wheelchair is sitting in the back of her truck, and nobody's using it, and somehow now she's got a handicap parking sign in the yard, that's ridiculous, because ain't nobody handicapped. There was, maybe 4 years ago, there was that lady that was there that was handicapped, but there is nobody there, period, that is handicapped. It's her, the guy that's living there now, or her little girl, and occasionally I see other kids coming in and out of there, but that's it. So there's no handicapped, and never was any handicapped person there.
We can check our records, see if the Board of Works approved the sign for that residence. Maybe they
Well, see, I don't know if she had to go to the license branch and get it, or if she had to go to the doctor to get one to be able to get the city.
Doctor can't give you a sign to put in your yard that says you're handicapped. That's
Or
not what
an
doctor-
order of some sort. I don't know how she got it.
Well, she didn't get it from a doctor, and she didn't get it from the BMV. The only way you can get them is through the street department.
I'll check to see if it was ordered. Sounds like she might have got one somewhere and put it up, so.
I don't know, because a company came in and put it in. I just don't, I just don't remember who did it, but it's been there for at least 2 years. But there's nobody handicapped there, and never was. I've lived in my house 18 years. So,
I do know this property she's talking about, it's one of 22 that's on Chad and I's list to get done, that's been ordered. So we're trying to get through 3 to 4 a week to get them cleaned up, so it takes a lot. With GFL just switch it, that's why we really haven't put it in.
Okay.
But we are getting to that point.
Board of Works doing that continuously, have to keep cleaning it up. Do you stop it?
That's why we want to do it to where the fines are attached to the property taxes. That is going to send a better signal and a better message than what we're doing now. So we're working on it.
Trying to pass the unsafe a few months ago with adding security to code enforcement and stuff. It was for that reason. We could get away from these liens that were getting set on in us and not really getting anything out of it to actually be able to take action and have some enforcement.
How are you doing on that? You were gonna,
It got tabled by you guys, and I don't know where it's sitting right now. I think we just had a discussion about trying to bring it back again.
well, it was tabled by us because it wasn't clear, it wasn't clear what you were looking for and what we could vote on. So we're not doing anything with it. It's up to you to create, it's up to you to create something that you're asking us to approve for you.
I thought we were waiting for American Legal Publishing to do.
Well, that was on the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who-
I was about to say.
Yeah, but you don't want to wait for that for a property that's been this much of a
That's
problem
what we
for
brought
this
to the rules
long.
committee, and we said we were gonna wait, because
Yeah.
that would actually change the way my stuff's done and how it is done, so we could have a better impact.
I think we can do something before that.
Yeah, because it actually has to be the
Published.
2 readings and then published for 30 days, and then we could act on it.
I understand how all
The
that
hope was,
works.
we signed the contract with American Publishing, and my understanding is, and I guess this goes through the clerk treasurer's office at this point to get it started, but was to start reviewing the ordinances, and that could be one of the first ones we review. But, you know, the issue we were running into before is we didn't want to go through all the hoops that Kelly's talking about, only to turn around and have to change them again. So we wanted to get it right the first time. Now,
Contract has been sent to those guys, a couple of, whatever it was, we had the meeting at the Board of Works and got the mayor's signature and it was shipped off, except that when you and I talked.
that's one of the, we could ask them to maybe look at that first. You know, I don't know who's the point person for that contract, but that would seem to be
The thing
the,
is, they collect everything that we have published and everything that's in the ordinance books that has been passed that is not in a published book, because then they collate that, and then the clerk treasurer's office has the books, the good books for that.
they may have some, you know, at least some good templates we can look at and be, I don't know.
I can say that this property, we will try to have cleaned up in the next 2 weeks. So we'll just deal with the headaches that come with after it, but we'll try to get in there in the next 2 weeks, and we'll just take everything and be done. And we'll just deal with the aftermath. So you might hear from them after that, so.
Thank you, Kelly.
Very much, sir.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. Any other public comments? City council comments?
I'd like to have a question. I was wondering how it's coming along with appointing a new chief of police. I haven't heard anything about that, and it's been several weeks. So what's going on with that?
We have an interim police chief, Sean Heichman. Heichman's acting chief. I mean,
So
you
I'm
want-
just asking, is it something that are you working on hiring someone new, or you have to?
there's an
appoint
interview
someone?
process. Yeah, I'm going through the interview process. So, yeah.
Do you know when that's going to be completed?
Any other council member comments?
I hate to ask, but are the time clocks working yet?
Get an email. Did we not get an email about the time clock
I don't know anything
from
about it.
IT today?
That's not, that's.
I got an
That's a
email.
Tyler question.
Yeah. From the IT email that I got, it sounds like the time clocks are going. It looks like he got through them.
Issues.
Is there?
Yeah. I'm planning on talking to Jeremy about it this week.
I thought I got the email from Jeremy.
Who gets the weekly reports for the time clocks? Who receives that? Is that Tyler or the human resource person?
It's both. I don't know for sure, so I don't want to say confidently, but I think it was going to HR. But I think Tyler's included in them. I'm not entirely sure.
So BJ, if maybe you could check with them and take a look at the weekly reports and see what's up. Okay.
Any other council member comments?
I just have one. I talked to Greg the other day. Since the last council meeting, they've been up on the roof. They did find a leak. Something had pulled away that had created a break in the roofing. That's all been patched. And Brenda messaged me the other day and said that the council chambers will be closed for repairs from November 6th through the 18th. So we'll be able to look at a much nicer and a more appealing wall back here in the near future.
Sounds good.
Hopefully it's
Have a new audio,
yeah, so there you go.
all going in our direction.
All right, any other comments? All right, miscellaneous business and any matters not already considered, including ADA Section 504 compliance or concerns. All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
Call for question.
BJ Cox? Yes. Haley Zinsmaster? Scott Petey?
Yes.
Susie Wamsley?
Yes.
Chris Howard?
Yes.
Dave Morris?
Yes, why not?
Cameron Austin?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Have a great night.